This is Factorio, and this delicious sticky black substance is oil. I've heard it's pretty popular in some places. So let's make enough of it that we get on a certain country's radar. I can hear eagles screeching already. So, unless you've never played Factorio before, you probably know where oil comes from. That's right, dinosaurs. But more chronologically speaking, these little oil spots. Every oil patch has at least a couple. So, let's get extracting. This fabulous building is going to get us what we need. It's called a pump jack because... oh neat, it's because it pumps jack. Let's do a few more. That's much better. Now we need to put down some infrastructure to make this oil usable. Some pipes, some tanks, a few more tanks, and all the buildings we need to barrel the oil for shipping. We want to make sure this is nice and quick so it doesn't create any bottlenecks down the road. Now we can see how much oil we actually produce. I'd say probably enough oil for the mighty Japanese Tenryu. That's right, this was all an elaborate setup for a World of Warships ad. Everyone's favorite game about ships and war and stuff. It's a free-to-play massive online multiplayer experience, or a bit-a-pa, mumme. With regular updates, they are constantly adding new ships, new nations, events and skins. You want to play in as an American ship? You can. How about a Spanish ship? Yes. Or even one from Thailand. I checked. They've also kept the visuals fresh with water effects, lighting, weather and new maps. Stunning. You can play as submarines, destroyers, cruisers, battleships, and even aircraft carriers. That's right, there are planes in this game about ships. The detail is super impressive. Just look at this ship. I'm in a menu at the moment. You can play by yourself or team up with friends using divisions. I even played a bunch with some cool YouTubers recently, and we had a great time. There's a cheeky little code in the comments for new and returning players with some goodies, so go click it. Back to the video. Now we can see how much oil we actually produce. 60 oil per second. Wow, that's a lot of oil. Let's see where we rank globally with that amount. This is all measured in BBL. Apparently that stands for barrels. So we make like 60 oil per second, which can fill like 1.2-ish barrels per second, which is 1.2 times 60, which is like 70-ish, carry the 2 and then times 60 again, 4,200, that's 24 hours in a day, so times 24. 100,800 barrels of oil per day. And that puts us right by Pakistan. Has the US ever invaded Pakistan? Well, that's obviously not enough oil then. We need to get into the big leagues. About over here. 1 million barrels of oil per day. Or 550 oil per second. So, how do we get there? Well, the Space Age DLC added quality. By making these jack pumps more qualitier, we'll be able to produce way more oil. Through the incredibly labor-intensive process of farming all the resources to create epic components to craft epic pumpy jack jacks, which I've done off screen, we now have a full array of them. Let's test it out. That still looks like Brunei levels of oil to me. God damn it. So, quality on pump jacks just decreases resource drain, which I guess is neat, but we're not really going for sustainability here. Let's try something else. A little something I like to call black magic, otherwise known as speed modules. Now, if I were a total noob, I'd put them directly into the jump jacks and call it a day. That would be retarded. We're going to do that and use beacons. That way we can get even more oil per oil. Each beacon increases speed by this amount, and we can have about 9 per subjack. Quality on modules actually does something, so we're going to make sure these are all high quality speed modules. Let's turn this on for a second and see. Oh my god, that was quick. Very cool. Quickly, how many barrels of oil per second is that? Very nice. I think that firmly puts us in very likely to be invaded by the US. Wow. But why stop there? Why not rival the might of even the largest oil producers in the world? Let's get that oil out of the ground. Let's pretend we had the foresight to tweak the world settings at the start of the game and had turned oil all the way up. Oh yeah, 600% baby. Then we just need to take a light stroll towards the far reaches of the map and find an oil patch. The further we get from spawn, the bigger the patches get. That's what I'm talking about. Let's set up and see what we can do. Yes. My god, it's beautiful. Let's turn this behemoth on. Jesus. 7 million oil per minute. That's 201 million barrels of oil per day. That's more than like double what the entire planet makes. We could fill oceans with this amount of oil. What's that? They made a whole planet out of oil? Get in. We're going to space. Don't forget about the World of Warships link in the comments. It's tons of fun and I've been playing it a bunch. You might even see me on the seas. It's also available on console via World of Warships Legends. Cowabunga.